Hello students. Okay, let's learn the first chapter of Business and Accounting Studies. This is the first chapter of grade 10 syllabus. You call it Background of Business. So in this chapter, you are going to learn the basic concepts of businesses.
GCE O-Level, Business and Accounting Studies, Grade 10 and Grade 11, English Medium. Zoom online classes and physical classes. Mahesha Pereira. Join the best result-oriented commerce class.
Now, as you can see, these are the subtopics under this particular chapter. Business concept. Here you are going to learn what a business is and how businesses evolved. And then you are going to learn business objectives. That means the goals or the aims of businesses. What do businesses want to achieve, right? Then consumer needs and wants. Who are consumers? Simply, they are the customers, right? The customers. So what are the needs and the wants of customers? Now, even though you feel like needs and the wants are like similar, right? They are two different terms in our syllabus. Okay, so you're going to learn this needs and the wants of customers or the consumers. Okay, then manufacturing businesses. What do you mean by manufacture? Manufacture means produce, make, right? Manufacturing businesses, right? Then there is something called factors of production. Factors of production. And then finally, you learn stakeholders of businesses. Of course, some words are like new to you, especially stakeholders, right? Let's learn them, right? Let's learn them. I'll try to explain in simple terms with examples, okay? Right. Now, first of all, I'm going to give you a question, right? A question. Just pause the video, think, and try to give an answer, Buddha. Okay? Right. Now, I'm not going to ask you what a business is. Right? I'm not going to ask you what is a business. Right? But instead of that, I'm going to ask you this question. Right. Let me write on the screen. Hold on. Here you have 3 institutes. Nalanda College, one of the famous boys' schools in Sri Lanka. Lyceum International School, another famous international school in Sri Lanka. And then you have Sinhala Institute. This is actually, even though you haven't heard the name of this institute, just consider it as a tuition institute. When you go for tuition, you normally attend tuition classes, no? Tuition institutes, no? So this is one of the tuition institutes in Sri Lanka. It's in Panipitiya. Even I teach at this institute, so that's why I took the name. Okay? Right. Now, my question is, Puta, you need to select the businesses out of these 3 given institutes, right? Is Nalanda College a business to you? Is Lyceum a business to you? And is Sinhala Institute, this is one of the tuition institutes in Sri Lanka, is it a business to you? Right. Now pause the video and think. And also remember, for your answer, you have to have a reason, Puta. For example, if you say that Nalanda College is not a business, then you need to justify your answer with a reason. Why do you tell that Nalanda College is a business? What's your point? Right? Okay, now pause the video and think. Right? Then again, on your video and listen to the proper answer. Okay, I'll give you the answer. First think. Right, let me tell you the answer. Puta, all three institutes are businesses. All of them are businesses. Why? What's the reason? I'll tell you, right? But before that, let me tell you how most of the students answer, right? So most of the students, they say, Nalanda College is not a business, but Lyceum and Sepala are businesses. What's the reason? Right, because they say that Nalanda College is a government school, and normally the school doesn't charge from the students, I mean, a big amount, right? Of course, there is the term fee, not that. A small amount of government schools, term fees, considerably small amount. But when you compare, Nalanda with Lyceum and even tuition classes, comparatively, Nalanda College doesn't charge much from the students. Therefore, it's not a business, right? And of course, this school belongs to the government. Therefore, this is not a business. And on the other hand, what they say is, Lyceum and Sepala, they charge from the students. They are not government institutes. They make profits. Therefore, these two are businesses. Is this yours? No. Actually, as I told you earlier, all three institutes are businesses, Buddha. All are businesses. What's the reason now? Buddha, the reason is in the definition of businesses. So, of course, straight away we are going to learn what a business is. But let me tell you my reason why I say that all three are businesses. Because if you consider these three institutes, Buddha, all of these three institutes try to fulfill, right? Try to fulfill, I hope you know this word, fulfill, right? Or satisfy, right? Satisfy, let's say satisfy, right? Fulfill or satisfy the education need of the Sri Lankan students. Am I correct? Yes. All of these three, institutes, they give education for the students. And they try to satisfy the students' education need, right? Okay. So for us to identify an institute as a business, the main criteria is that particular institute should satisfy human needs and wants. Puta, every business satisfy, okay? Human needs and wants. Are we clear? Right. Let me explain this with some of Sinhala. Let's say mix of Sinhala as well, right? For you to understand this better. Then පුතා මම මේ දුන්නු එකක් නාලන්ද කොලෙජ් එක රජේ පාසලක්. ලයිසියම් කියන්නේ ඉන්ටර්නැෂනල් ස්කූල් එකක්. හැබැයි මේකේ ලෝකල් සිලබස් එකක් උගන්වනවා. හරි? ඉන්ටර්නැෂනල් සිලබස් එකක් උගන්වනවා, ලෝකල් සිලබස් එකක් උගන්වනවා. ඊට පස්සේ සේපල් ඉන්ස්ටිටියුට් කියන්නේ වා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මේ ටියුෂන් යන ඉන්ස්ටිටියුට් එකක්. හරි? ඉතින් මේක ගැන නම නොදන්නවත් මේක ටියුෂන් ඉන්ස්ටිටියුට් එකක් විදිහට රෙකග්නයිස් කරන්න පුළුවන්නේ. හරි. ඒතර මේ තුන් දෙනාම ලංකාවේ ළමයින්ගේ এডুকেෂන් කියන නීඩ් එක අවශ්‍යතාවය සපුරන්න එහෙම නැත්නම් සැටිස්ෆයි කරන්න තමා ඉන්නේ. හරි? ඒ නිසා අන්න ඒ ක්‍රයිටීරියා එක පාවිච්චි කරලා තමයි අපි මේ තුන් දෙනාම අපේ සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක අනුව businesses කියලා කියන්නේ. තේරුණා? Right? Then මෙහෙමයි. If you have any doubts while you learn, just drop me a WhatsApp message, right? Ask the question, type the question, or even you can send voice messages. If your question is too lengthy, just put a voice message. හරි voice කරලා මේ WhatsApp message එකක් යවන්න. එතකොට මට පුළුවන් මගේ free time එකේදී මම ඔයාලට පුතා answer එක explain කරලා type කරලා හරි again voice message එකක් විදිහට හරි යවන්න. හරි? හරි. එතකොට ප්‍රධාන වශයෙන්ම පුතා ඉන්ස්ටිටියුට් එකක් බිස්නස් එකක් විදිහට අපි අඳුනගන්නේ ඒ අදාළ ඉන්ස්ටිටියුට් එක මිනිස්සුන්ගේ needs and wants සිනලෙන් කියන්නේ අවශ්‍යතා වුවමනා සපුරන්න satisfy කරන්න ඉන්න නිසාවෙන්. හරි? So every business satisfies or fulfills human needs and wants. Humans have needs and wants, right? Let's say needs, forget about wants now. We have needs, right? We want food, we want clothes, we want shelter, and more needs. There are more needs like education. You need education, right? Right? You need security, transportation. These are needs for that. So businesses try to satisfy these human needs and wants. Are we clear? Right. So next thing is you need to study what a business is. This is the definition given in your syllabus and you're supposed to study this and memorize it, right? Because this is one of the famous questions in your paper. This actually the definition of business has been tested, as I remember, in 2017 O-level paper, right? So they will ask again, right? And especially when it comes to grade 10 first term paper, they normally ask you to define what a business is. So let's learn and try to memorize, study and memorize when you learn, Buddha. That's the best technique to study for the exams, okay? For the exams. Right, now this is what we are going to do. We are going to take the note at this time as well, right? So this is what you are going to do. First, put the main heading. Chapter 1, background of business. Just remember as a study tip, when you learn things, at the same time, if you can write what you have learned, it will help you to improve your memory. When you write things, especially when you write the things that you learned, it helps you to improve your memory. So at the same time, let's take the note as well, right? Let's write the note as well, right? Even in the physical class, we do the same thing, right? I explain and I ask students to write the note. And I normally tell the note and they write it, right? So we are going to do a similar thing here. So first, write down your main heading. Now, when you take notes, Buddha, right? Especially when you write the main heading means it's like the title of the chapter, the title of the lesson. Have a specific color or have a specific treatment. For example, let's say if you write in black, for every lesson, write the main heading in black, right? Let's say now here I have written the main heading in pink, right? And let's say I'm going to underline this. So this will be my treatment for the format, let's say formatting for my main heading, right? Let's underline this. So take down your main heading now. Background of business. And this is chapter 1. Put number 1 or something, right? Background of business. Right. Next. Now, actually, remember this as well. Now, we don't write everything in the textbook in our writing book. Then, what's the purpose, right? Then textbook එකේ තියෙන ඔක්කොම writing book එකට ලිව්වට පස්සේ මේ දෙන්නගේ වෙනසක් නැහැ. There is no difference, right? So what we do is we normally take the summary and the most essential area to our writing book from the textbook, right? And always remember, Puta, you need to refer to your textbook time to time. Read the textbook. Read the, explanations given in the textbook. Don't be lazy, right? අනිවාර්යෙන් textbook එකේ තියෙන text එක කියවන්නේ ගොඩක් හොඳට explain කරලා තියෙනවා. ලොකුවට තියෙනවා. දැන් මාත් explain කරනවා හොඳට. හරි? හැබැයි ඔක්කොම අපි ලියන්න යන්නේ. ඒක තේරුම් නැති දෙයක් නේ. That's all. So even your note is like a short note now, honey. And then again I give you a short note, right? ඔය note එක short note එකක් අපි හදා ගන්නවා. I normally, give you as a PDF. If you want, you can print it, or you can again write it. Writing is the better way, okay? Not printing and going through the text. ඒක ඉච්චර සාර්ථක නැහැ. ඔයාගේ අකුරෙන්ම ලියනවා නම් පුතා මතකයට යන ප්‍රමාණය වැඩි. Okay. Now, what to do? You took the heading down, right? You wrote it, no? Right. Next, we need to have a subheading. No, we are not going to have a subheading. Straight away, we are going to define what a business is. If you want, you can write a subheading saying this. What is a business? It's not a must, right? Now, again, when you write a subheading, have a separate treatment and have that treatment and apply that treatment to every subtopic and don't change it. ගොඩක් ළමයි notes ලියනකොට මේකේ note එක බැලුවාම නිකන් හරි complicated. නිකන් කිසි පිළිවෙලක් නැහැ. එක එක තැන්වල එක එක විදිහට. main heading එකට එක treatment එකක් තියාගන්න, sub headings වලට වෙනම treatment එකක් තියාගන්න. Now, for example, in my case, I put the heading in pink and I underlined it. Next, for each subheading, I'm going to have just pink color, subheading, right? Right. Here, now you can see the full definition according to the textbook, but pay your attention to the last few words. Let me underline and show it to you. In order to, let's say to, right? To fulfill human needs. Now, this is not the thing that we were trying to explain in the previous, example, right? So that every business fulfills human needs, regardless of their size, regardless of their ownership. Let's say some businesses are private sector businesses, some businesses are government sector businesses, we call them public sector businesses, right? Whether they aim to make profits or whether they do not aim to make profits, every business tries to fulfill humans or the people's needs, right? ඒ නිසා මේක අපේ definition එකේ තියෙන්නම ඕන වචන ටික. Fulfill human needs, right? Even you can write fulfill human needs and wants, but according to the textbook, they have given only needs. Okay? Right. Then we need to study the rest, right? We need to study the rest. So let me explain to you, then you are going to take down this. You are going to write down this, right? So if you want, you may have what is a business as a subtopic, or you can just write this definition. Okay? Better to have the heading, no? Right. A business is an economic activity. Look at the words. Let me underline. Economic activity. Now, what do you mean by this? What is economic activity? Of course, you know, no? Ne? What is economic then? What the economic activity means in very simple terms? An activity related to money. It's an activity related to money. Now, if you consider a business, right? Most of the businesses, they earn income, right? And most of the businesses, they earn profits. They charge a value for their products, right? Some businesses sell goods, some businesses sell services, and they sell at a price, a certain price. So all are money related activities, no? So mainly you can say that business is an economic activity. It is an economic activity. Study right now, right? Study right now. Now, study it, okay? When you study a definition, especially a lengthy one, right? The first thing is you should divide that lengthy, that long definition into what? Sections, right? කොටස් වලට කඩා ගන්න ටිකක් ටික lengthy long definition එකක් තියෙනකොට පුතා හොඳම දේ කොටස් වලට බෙදා ගන්න. Actually, here I have divided into, 3 parts, right? The first part is, the first section is, it is an economic activity. Why I say it's an economic activity? I just explained, right? It is, money related activity, right? So then let's move on to the next section. Now, මම මෙතන මේ පේඩි තුනකට කඩලා තියෙන්නේ ඒකයි. හරි දැන් ඔයා ලියනකොට ඕක පේඩි තුනකට ලියන්න එපා. හරි? එක දිගට ලියලා දාන්න. But for me to explain you, I just, got I made 3 sections. Right. Look at the second section, second part. Which manufacturers? What do you mean by manufacturers? Producers, make, right? හදනවා, නිෂ්පාදනය කරනවා, නේ? Or provides, සපයනවා, provides what? Different goods and services. Different goods and services. Puta, this is, as I told you, this is not just a commerce class, right? This is a class of commerce mainly, English, bit of English, right? Bit of maths, especially, regarding percentages and all, right? Some, easy calculations, right? And then it's a class of study tips. The way you have to study effectively and efficiently. And of course, in physical classes, Buddha, this is a class of life lessons. But unfortunately, Buddha, I'm not going to do this part in the online class. Okay? So it's a bit hard for me because these are recorded lessons now. So that's why. But in physical classes, I do give life lessons as well. Right. Now, so here I'm going to give you an English lesson, a very small English lesson. It's actually a pronunciation lesson, right? How do you pronounce this word? Most of the students, even most of the elders, they pronounce this as different. Neme, different කියලා. They pronounce it different, which is wrong, highly wrong. Even I used to, pronounce like this. This is the way you, pronounce it, different, right? You can, hear to, proper pronunciations on the internet. Just go to Google and type Cambridge Dictionary or Oxford Dictionary and type the particular word and listen to especially UK pronunciation, right? And if you like, you can hear to, American pronunciation and pronounce it properly, Buddha, right? So this is how you pronounce this word. Different what? Goods and services. Different goods and services. So again, see the second section, which manufactures or provides. Then මෙතන which දාලා explain කරන්නේ අර economic activity එක මොනවද කරන්නේ කියලා. What does this economic activity do? It manufactures goods actually, and it provides services. But normally, goods are manufactured. Services are provided. භාණ්ඩ නිෂ්පාදනය කරනවා, සේවා සපයනවා. Right? So, are you clear? Is it clear, right? Just see, manufactures actually goods. Okay, manufactures goods, then provides services. ඉතින් මේක ටිකක් වෙන වෙනම ලියලා තියෙන්නේ. Manufactures provides goods, different goods and services. Now, study the second part now. Study and finish it. Try to tell it from the very beginning up to here, right? A business is an economic activity which manufactures or provides goods and services. So goods are manufactured and services are provided, right? We call it provider. Which manufactures or provides goods, different goods and services. Right. Look at the third part and we have already talked about it. If you want, you can drop these two words. In order to. You can simply say, to fulfill human needs. Right? Okay? Fine. So that's the definition of business. Let's tell the whole thing, right? Without looking at the screen. Just try to memorize it. A business is an economic activity which manufactures or provides goods and services to satisfy, definition fulfill, to fulfill human needs. That's it. Memorize it one more time, okay? Right. Now, let's learn the next topic. I mean, not the topic, actually, next area, right? Now, I just explained you what a business is now. Next, you have to learn, actually, how these businesses evolved. How businesses came into the world, came into place, right? කොහොමද businesses ඇති වුණේ? නේ? ඒක ගැන පොඩි නිකන් history එකක්. We are going to study a little bit of history of businesses.